Hello everyone. I hope you are watching my videos regularly, and in this video we will learn about semi-automatic transmission in automobiles. This is a part of unit number 2 of the subject automobile engineering. In this point number 2.3, what we will learn, let us see the points. In this, particularly in this video, we will learn about construction and working of overdrive. Rest of the contents which are the part of this point number 2.3 are automatic transmission, which is called as a fluid flywheel. Next is torque converter. We will know what is the function of torque converter, its construction and working. After that, epicyclic gear train, its construction and working. In short, epicyclic gearbox. So introduction, let us see. Before buying a car, we need to know about what type of car and what type of transmission will suit us better. Nowadays, most of the cars are coming with clutch, that is called manual transmission. Without clutch, we say mostly it is an automatic. So this way, we have to select which type of car. There are two types of transmissions therefore. One is automatic transmission and second one is manual transmission. So to decide which car to buy, it is important to know the difference between manual transmission and automatic transmission. What is transmission? That we have already seen this topic, but let us revise that one. Transmission is a part of the car which connects the engine to the wheels. When car speeds up, the engine cannot speed up in the same proportion, so there are gears involved which match the engine speed to the wheel speed so that we can drive faster or slower than the engine speed. So this way we need transmission for faster and slower, means the engine speed to the wheel speed. So there are the gears involved which match the engine speed to the wheel speed so that we can drive the car faster or slower with the help of this transmission. There are different types of transmission. Number one, very basic fundamental type, which is called as a manual transmission. In this, the selection of gear ratio on manual transmission is accomplished by manually shifting gears. So this is the feature that we already seen in most of the cars. Okay, this mechanism that disengage one gear and selects another. Most modern types of this transmission have 5 or 6 forward and 1 reverse gear. This type of transmission is connected to the engine via clutch, which is, if disengaged by pressing the foot pedal or hand lever, removes torque from the system. So this way, this is the concept of manual transmission. This is the first type. After that, second type is fully automatic transmission. What is fully automatic transmission? In an automatic transmission, the hydraulically operated control system are managed electronically. So there is a hydraulically operated control system which is managed electronically by the vehicle's computer instead of clutch and gear stick. So there is no clutch and gear stick. So here there is a hydraulically operated control system. All the driver has to do is shift the selector from path P or neutral N into drive D. So these are the three options, and the gear shifting will take place automatically and smoothly without any additional input from the driver under normal driving conditions. So this is the concept of fully automatic transmission. Third type is semi-automatic transmission, also known as automatic manual. This is very popular nowadays in some of the cars, or clutchless manual transmission. The simplest way to describe this type is called it a hybrid between fully automatic and manual transmission. So this is a middle one. It is not fully automatic. It is also not fully manual transmitted system, but it is a hybrid of fully automatic and manual transmission. There is no need to operate clutch in this. Processors, sensors, pneumatics and actuators are all used to automatically shift the gear once the drive has signaled the change. So this way, this is the concept of semi-automatic transmission. Fourth type is CVT, continuously variable transmission. So here you will see the sketch of this CVT. What is there? Instead of gears, the system relies on rubber or metal belt running over the pulleys that can vary their effective diameters. To keep the belt at its optimum tension, one pulley will increase its effective diameter while other decreases its effective diameter by exactly the same amount. So this is the fourth type, continuously variable transmission. Let us see what is the difference between manual and automatic transmission. This is very important to us to know what is the difference exactly. This is differentiated on the basis of some factors like initial cost, fuel efficiency, preventive maintenance, breakdown maintenance, sporty thrill. After that, if also there are 2 points. Let us see what is initial cost. Manual transmission, cost of manual transmission is low, while the cost of automatic transmission is higher. Fuel efficiency, manual transmission is having higher because of low energy loss of a clutch plate based system. Here the efficiency is lower compared to the manual transmission because of energy losses in hydraulic torque converter are higher. So there is a use of hydraulic torque converter, so energy losses takes place to drive this system. Preventive maintenance slightly lower, here it is slightly higher. Breakdown maintenance, cost of manual transmission car due to transmission related failures is lower here compared to automatic transmission because of less complexity and manual transmission. There is a less complexity, but here the complexity increases. Hence higher breakdown maintenance cost as compared to manual transmission. Sporty thrill, driver can choose between fuel efficiency and thrill. So here no liberty to use the gears. So this way, these are some of the factors on the basis of which we can differentiate. Another factors, let us see, comfort and convenience. Manual transmission is less comfortable as the driver has to operate clutch to change the gears, and it can be lot of inconvenience in congested city traffic with stops and go type of situation. And here you will see very comfortable automatic. As the driver needs to worry about the clutch, there is no need to manually change the gears with the changing speeds. This adds a lot of convenience in the city traffic where we have lot of frequent stop and go conditions. Last parameter is driving skill. It requires more skills to drive a manual transmission car as there has to be a coordination between speed and gears. But here in this case it requires lesser skill to drive an automatic car. So this way we can differentiate. Next is here in this lecture we will only see this component, overdrive. What is overdrive? You will see this is the sketch of the overdrive. You will see here there is an input shaft. After that there is a sun gear, the planetary planet pinion, there is a ring gear here, there is a carrier, there is a free wheel clutch. These are the splines which are mounted on the input shaft. This is the planet pinion, this is output shaft. So what is this overdrive? The device that is used to increase the speed of the wheel greater than the engine speed, which is placed between transmission system and propeller shaft, which is called as overdrive of the automobile. So as the definition suggests, it is used to increase the speed of the wheel greater than the engine speed, and where it is placed between the transmission system and the propeller shaft. An overdrive is a system that can be placed after gearbox, and we need to know a bit about this by this sketch. What are the components? What are the parts? Number one is input shaft. The power from the gearbox is to be delivered to the input shaft of the overdrive. Second component is sun gear. It is the gear that is placed at the center of the ring meshed by the planet gear. See where it is located. And in the previous slide we have seen the sun gear. Due to locking and unlocking of the sun gear, the engagement and disengagement of an increase of power takes place. The third component is planet gear. The planet gears are meshed with the sun gear externally and are surrounded by the ring gear internally. Let us see next component, ring gear. Okay, the sun gear and the planet gears are in mesh externally with the ring gear. Next component is free wheel. The free wheel does not undergo any rotary relative motion, but it has only horizontal relative motion whenever there is a spline joint with the input shaft. Last component is output shaft. The power which is delivered by the engagement of the overdrive is to be sent to the output shaft, from where it is to be sent to the propeller shaft. So these are the components and their function of the overdrive. Let us see the working principle. The overdrive is to be placed between the gearbox and the propeller shaft. The function of overdrive is to increase more amount of power than the power delivered from the gearbox. On the input shaft, the sun gear is connected to the spline. The free wheel has an internal spline and the input shaft has an external spline, and these two will mesh together. Whenever there is a spline joint, the free wheel does not undergo any rotary relative motion, but it has only horizontal relative motion. In the sense, the free wheel can move only in horizontal direction but cannot rotate at the center of the input shaft. Whereas the sun gear is freely mounted on the input shaft, it means that whenever the shaft is rotating, the sun gear may or may not rotate, but free wheel has to move with respect to input shaft only. The sun gear meshes with the planet gears, and these planet gears are in contact with the planet gear. The planet gear is also in contact with the ring gear, and from the ring gear the power is sent to the output shaft. There are two options. One is nothing but engagement of the power and disengagement of the power. When the sun gear is in a locking position, it indicates that overdrive is in an engaged position and the power will be transmitted to the output shaft. Disengagement of the power: when the sun gear is unlocked, the input shaft and output shaft will rotate at the same speed. That is, there is the disengagement of the power. What are the advantages? Let us see. At cruising speed, it can be efficiently transfer the engine power to the road wheels. Overdrive is the highest gear in the transmission. Disadvantage of overdrive: if you want to overtake a vehicle, then the usage of overdrive is bad idea. If you are going off-road or climbing the hill, then you should not use overdrive. What are the applications? It is mostly used in racing cars. So in this lecture only we have studied this overdrive, and these are the references. You can also refer these links for your more information. Thank you very much.